Welcome to one of the biggest crossover events in Power Ranger and Kamen Rider fan fiction history, with almost 30 storylines crossing over. These storylines are written and read to you guys across multiple platforms and given to you by the 3 Ranger Bros Studios, which is hosted by Mark the Red Cornish Ranger, Cosplay Dude 637, and myself, Ty Tiger. So prepare to dive into a storyline that not only crosses over all these stories, but hosts a threat that is willing to take down the entire multiverse as we know it. Let us begin. Rangers and Riders Unite. War for the Multiverse. Part 7. The End of the Multiverse. Albert was surrounded by a rainbow aura that radiated off of him. Swirling around him was a ring of weapons. All of them belonged to Ultra Rangers.
It's time to end this.
Albert and the ghost Jason said in unison. Their souls had merged, allowing Albert to have full access to the Ultra Grid. He floated in the air, he grabbed the Ultra Dual Pistols and fired them. Their energy blasts rained upon Duras. Then he let go of the dual pistols and they floated back to their slot within the ring of weapons. He grabbed the Ultra Hammer, he flew down and slammed the hammer into Duras, making him slide back. He let go of the hammer and it flickered in a glimmer of light, returning to the ring of Ultra weapons. Then the Ultra Dagger flickered and appeared in Albert's hands. He moved with insane speed, slashing Duras multiple times, not allowing him to stagger, respond, or move otherwise. He jumped up and kicked Duras at the same time. The Ultra Daggers flickered away and was replaced with the Ultra Axe. He jumped up and swung it with all of his might. The energy wave rippled off the blade and hit Duras within a nanosecond. The axe was replaced with the Ultra Bow. He drew an energy arrow and fired it. It flew at Duras. In mid-motion, it shattered into 100 arrows. The arrow barrage hit Duras, ripping through him. Albert quickly changed weapons and gripped hard upon the Ultra Sword. It felt heavy and light at the same time. He bolted towards Duras.
This is our final attack. This will end the war.
Albert and Jason's ghosts called out. The Ultra Sword started to glow. The blade quadrupled in size, becoming so long no normal man could wield it. Albert swung the sword, slashing Duras, and Duras just stood there. Lightning rippled through him, stunning him. He dropped to his knees. Then there was a massive explosion coming from deep within. Albert stood there, sweat dropping off of his forehead, blood dripping from his eyes. Duras then let out a half-wheezy chuckle and bolted. He grabbed Albert by the chest, placing his hand on Albert's body. He then absorbed the Ultra Grid and the Morphin Grid from the duo, and Jason's ghost was forced from Albert's body. Duras let out a satisfying sigh as he drained Albert's life force, turning him to a skeleton which dropped to the floor. Jason's ghost phased away as his link to the reality was dead. His astral form had no ties to the main plane of existence anymore. He quickly looked over to the remaining members of the team.
Good luck.
He sighed as his form phased away. Duras stood there and took a deep breath in, and then suddenly he felt it. Something bad was happening to his collection of all the energies that he had required. The Lion Mecha was overrun by Fadenizers. The Yellow Ultra Wild Force Ranger, the Pink Ultra Ranger, and the Blue Swallow Ranger, joined with the Pink Swan Ranger, were fighting for their lives. 2 Fadenizers jumped onto the Yellow Ultra Wild Force Ranger and absorbed the Ultra Grid and the Life Force energy out of her, rendering her a skeleton. The hole they made became nothing more than an access point for the flood of Fadenizers as they came in. The Pink Swan jumped up and split-kicked 2 Fadenizers, but was quickly overrun, and she was also rendered a skeleton within a matter of seconds. The Pink Ultra Ranger summoned her bow, aimed at the wall, and fired an arrow. The wall exploded, causing a suction tunnel, and the Fadenizers flew out the mecha. Both Rangers grabbed onto something as they also being pulled. The Blue Swallow Ranger pulled herself back into the pilot chair and quickly strapped herself in. The Pink Ultra Ranger saw a couple of the Fadenizers had managed to hold onto something. "Hey Sam, you're a pilot, right?" the Pink Ultra Ranger called out. "Yeah, so?" the Blue Ranger replied. "Fly this goddamn thing into that cube." the Pink Ultra Ranger ordered. She then let go of whatever she was holding on to and kicked the two Fadenizers, forcing them to let go as well. The three of them flew out of the mecha. The Pink Ultra Ranger smacked one of the Fadenizers, but she crashed onto the ground and was quickly overrun by the army waiting down below. And soon enough, she was nothing but a skeleton. The Blue Ranger demorphed and Sam stared at the massive cube filled with Morphing Grid energy, the Ultra Grid energy, Apex Grid energy, Kamen Rider energy, and life itself. She hit the communicator. Tommy, the girls, Kim, they're gone. It's just me. Kim, she gave me a mission. It'll more than likely kill me, but it should give you guys a chance. Take it, and I'm sorry, Sam said. She drove the Lion Mecha into the cube. The Fadenizers fired their blasters at the mecha, but it did not have any luck. The Lion Mecha collided with the cube shattered like a pane of glass, the multitude of energy flowed like water escaping from a broken dam. The energy washed over the mecha, it shredded through it, killing Sam in the process. The White Ultra Ranger stood there stunned by Sam's words. He looked over to Durus, who also stood there stunned. You really think attacking my stored up energy would end this? Please. It just means we have moved up a step in my plan. Durus growled. He held out his hands and a portal opened behind him, and all the energy that was stored stormed out of it and was absorbed into Durus. Durus stood there, his body rippling with energy, his power increasing, his skin shimmered with multicolored light, his body on the brink of ripping itself apart. Let me show you my true ultimate power, Durus growled. He released all of his built-up power and a massive shockwave pulsed off of him. It surged through every Fatenizer. It pulsed through every Power Ranger, Ultra Ranger, Apex Ranger, and Kamen Rider. And then suddenly, one by one, they had their powers ripped from them, their life force energy ripped from them. The Red Ultra Ranger watched as his lover lost her ultra powers and her life force energy was ripped away from her as well, her skeleton dropping to the ground. Then he watched as his best friend also lost his white ultra energy and his life force energy. The Red Cornish Ranger watched as the rest of his team lost their powers and lives. Kamen Rider Wizard watched as the rest of the Kamen Riders lost their powers and their life forces as well. One by one, each and every Ranger and Rider lost their lives, their powers, their life force, all absorbed into Durus. His skin becoming grey with thick black veins becoming like cracks breaking through multiple layers of skin. His eyes were rainbow coloured, his hair became long and phased into an ashy grey of colour. His armour morphed into black and gold. It became more demonic looking with slim edges and sharp corners. Durus stood victorious. His only threat, the combined powers of multiple Rangers and Riders that collected from the multiverse, united as a one-threat army to stand against him, was now nothing but a pile of useless skeletons. I have won, Durus said with a grin. He then walked through the portal to start building his universe. Durus stood in his universe, the planets no longer able to hold their sphere-like shape, no life, no conversation, no love, nor hate, no animals praying or defending, no stars, no moons, no suns, absolutely nothing existed. Just rock, floating in darkness. Durus closed his eyes and remembered his universe, the love, the families, the stars. Then he remembered the evil that spread throughout the universe. The Power Rangers and Kamen Riders did not stand and fight. Instead, they either submitted defeat or ran like cowards, or worse, joined the dominating evil. He expelled all the built-up energy, and within a flash, all the energy, the hatred, the power, the anger, released in a flash. His universe was once again vibrant and light and shadows, life and death, in power and in strength. He made some alterations, some differences to make it that the only universe left was perfect in every way. In every single way. Durus had finally won. The multiverse was dead. Only one singular universe stood, and there was no one in sight to stop him.
What you have just listened to is a product created by the Three Ranger Bros Studio.
Hosted by three cosplaying fathers who
happen to be massive geeks of all sorts of fandoms.
They are Mark, the Red Cornish Ranger,
Cosplay Dude 637,
and Tiger.
The studio covers different types of YouTube videos, TikToks, podcasts, and live streams.
If you wish to find out who cosplays who, the YouTube channel, the TikTok accounts, and the podcasts, and all of the other social media platforms,
please go to the 3rangerbrostudios.com.